is up, YouTube family? I am finally out of work here in the dark, sitting in the corner, ready to go home. It was a long day, but it's a day that's been completed. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and yeah, looking forward to I'm just looking forward to go home. I'm tired. It's late. It's past midnight. It's exactly 12:36 at night, and I'm about to start up Luna and get this cold start, as you guys always enjoy. Let's go on this side so you guys can see my beautiful baby. Oh, that's how she sounds. Sounds so good. I just need it to be louder. Once I change out the headers, let's stare at the baby for a little bit. So looking forward to this 2022. I don't know if I am, because things are already looking crazy with this new I guess this new variant catching everyone. It's been insane, so not happy about that. I'm just hoping that we don't have a repeat of 2020 when this whole thing started. I think I want to do a video on nighttime riding on the highway on my 2021 S1000RR, the most comfortable sports bike. I'm going to talk a little bit about both. The rideability, this thing is super comfortable. It's almost, I don't know, I've never ridden a super naked, but I feel like it compares because it's super ridiculously comfortable, and it just rides really well. You've seen my riding during the day. I'm going to now take the turnpike and do a nighttime ride on the highway versus riding on your regular back streets. It's totally different. It's day and night for those who are beginner riders. So I told myself I wanted to do a video like this to show you guys. I feel like the S1, yes, it is a 1,000 liter bike, but yes, you can dumb it down a lot by putting it into rain mode. The power and everything just kicks in. Like this bike has everything from traction control, wheelie control, everything. You have a lot of control opposed to older bikes. For example, throttle response is super easy. It's I don't know, it's just very soft. It's a soft, I feel like this bike would be super easy for a beginner, for someone who is learning how to ride. It's very easy. The Yamaha, the R1, I would say I would say a no-go. You can still dumb it down, but that bike is just, it sits super aggressive on top of that. So it's, I don't know, in my mind, I feel like I don't recommend that bike. But this one's an easy bike to ride. Like, everything is so simple. It's seamless. It also has a quick shifter, and I guess I'll explain that a little bit more in a little more detail as I go. So the quick shifter, you can change gears up or down without having to use the clutch. However, you have to be, you can't pop it into gear when you're letting you need to like gas it before you can click it over. Now the downshifting, that's another thing. Like, you have to completely let go of the throttle in order to downshift. You cannot have the throttle engaged when you're trying to downshift, because the bike just won't allow you. You have to pull in the throttle if that's the case. But to me, this bike is super ridiculously easy to ride. It's super flickable. It's light. It feels lighter than the R1. So all in all, it is a great bike. Especially, I believe, in my opinion, for a beginner rider. I think the hardest thing that you would have to deal with or to learn is your stop and goes. So, because when you stop, you have to remember to pull in the clutch. When you go, you have to remember to either put it into first gear and remember to have the clutch in, you know, because these are things that you have to practice on in order for you to, you need to make it muscle memory. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Because the less you think about with the bike itself, the better it is for you. Because you're not so focused on the motorcycle itself. You're focused more now on just the road and the people around you. You're not thinking about, do I need to shift here, do I need to shift there? Now, here's another good thing about this bike. The Tst Display, this thing is amazing. You can instantly look down and see that you're in third gear. I remember in the past, with older models, I had to kind of figure out what gear I was in because I wasn't sure. And the way I would figure it out is by clicking all the way up to 6th gear. Like, for example, if I was in 4th gear and I wasn't sure if I was in 3rd or 4th or 5th, I would click to the last gear and then figure out, okay, now it's 6th, then I have to count in my head. With these newer bikes, you don't have to do that anymore. You just focus on where you're at. Like, you just look down really quickly, like I just did. Look down, okay, I'm in 3rd gear. You already know how many gears you have left up or down. Now, always keep in mind, these leader bikes that have 6 gears, I don't think I've ever seen a motorcycle with less than 6 gears. If there is, please let me know because I'm not sure. Drop that down in the comments. Now, we're going to be speeding up here, and reason being is because here's on the highway, it's the speed limit here is 70 miles an hour. So typically I try to get it to 70 miles an hour and just leave it here. Now, nighttime riding on the highway is, especially at this time of night, it is 12 a.m. There is nobody. As you can see, there's nobody on the highway. The great thing about this bike is that you also have cruise control, which you can activate, which I'd rather show you during the daytime because you can't see it at night. You can't see none of the controls right now. But that's the keynote. One of the things that you want to do is maintain yourself on the right-hand lane. At least here in Florida and the state of New York also, the left-hand lane is for speeding lane. So if you're doing like me, I'm doing 68, but the person behind you is doing 75, they can easily go around you. However, there's a truck in front of me, and this is a great example. The wind from the truck, the way it hits a motorcycle, you feel it. Your body starts doing this, literally going back and forth. You feel the wind from that truck. When you're on the highway, you got to remember that you're a smaller vehicle in the highway. So you have to remember to steer away from other vehicles. Because one, you're smaller, and two, people, it's nighttime, especially at night, they can't see. So now I'm just going to go around this vehicle, turn the signals, always turn the signals. Make sure that you're visible. And stay away from the truck as much as you can. So if there's a vehicle on the right side, try to stay on the right, closest to within the lane, the left-hand lane, but steer further away from the vehicle that's next to you. So if, let's say for example, there's a vehicle on my right side, I'm going to go and shift onto this side, making sure that there isn't a vehicle on this side. So these are great pointers to look for. And these are things that I always constantly look for to make sure that I'm a better rider myself, that I am safest. Because again, car versus bike, the car will win 100% of that time. This is the turnpike headed south going towards Miami. I know this road very well. I ride this to and from work every single day. So it's easy for me to know everything, where the lane is going to expand, when is the lane going to shorten, because at some point after here, this lane is going to turn into a 2-lane from a 4-lane. So these are little pointers. This is a great example here. So you have other vehicles coming up on your right hand side. Now they're furthest away. Usually, typically when I'm flying down the turnpike, these cars are merging over. So what I do is I get on the left hand lane to make sure that I'm awake. Now you also got to look in your mirrors and make sure that there's nobody behind you or on your left hand side that you're not going to bump into, that they don't see you. Always remember, you're a smaller vehicle. So now that I see that my right side is clear, turning signals first, make sure. Got my turning signal on, you can see it. I get on my right side. I made sure that there was nobody there. and I'm safely in. And these are great tools to use, especially for a beginner rider. Typically beginner riders, they start in all the back roads, but I want to give you my point of view on the highway, where it's more fast-paced. You're moving a lot faster. You're 70 plus miles an hour. These are things you have to factor in. Also, there's another thing that always crosses my mind. Even though I'm keeping the peripherals open to look to see what's around me, I'm also searching for debris that might be on the road. Also looking for things such as maybe a deer might pop up on the right hand side or the left hand side. Like, these are small aspects that I pay attention to make sure that I'm safe, because you never know. Anything can pop up. In New York, we used to see deers constantly. Here in Florida, we've seen gators in the middle of the road. Heck, I've seen videos where birds just fly out of nowhere. So these are things you have to think about. You're on a motorcycle. One of the reasons why I got myself a tall windscreen. Taller windscreen means I can dip down into the bike lower. So once I can do that, I can dip lower into the bike. That means if something's coming at me, so say for example a bird is coming directly to my face, it's not going to rip my head off with the speed that I'm going. I can duck into the bike. It'll hit the tip of my either the top of my helmet or it'll hit the windscreen. So these are great things to consider. I know it's a lot of information, but these are things that I constantly think about when I'm on the highway, especially when I'm at super high speeds. Right now, I'm just taking it easy, keeping it within the speed limit. Another thing, here's a vehicle stopped on the right hand side lane. Steer away from that vehicle because you don't know when they're going to pull in. That's another thing. Keep these little factors in your mind, because these are little things that are going to help you be a much better rider on the highway. When you're on more back roads, it's a whole different ballgame. So it's two different styles of riding. Right now I'm teaching you the highway at night, and I'll show you more of my riding during the day, which is there's a lot more traffic. However, there's a lot more visibility as well. So things are, it's, you know, literally night and day difference, literally. So they're both a night and day difference. How ironic. But it is a night and day difference between the two, because during the day, you got to remember, you're more visible to another vehicle. At nighttime, you're a lot less visible. Especially me, I'm a lot less visible on this bike, just for the simple fact that I'm, one, riding a black vehicle. Two, I'm wearing all black gear. So I'm not highly visible. Which is one of the reasons why I went with that Tst Industry tail light, because they are super, super bright. So now we're pulling up into a driver that's going a little bit slow. Make sure you check your mirrors, you look back, make sure you're good, quick look, turn the signals, get on your right, even though he made a right. This is good for video purpose. And then you get back on your right hand side. Make sure you check your mirrors. You look back, you check your mirrors, put on your turning signal. So far, it's a nice ride because there's nobody around you. There's the truck that we passed a while ago behind me, and then there's the car that passed me in front of me. That's it. There's nobody else on the road other than the folks that are coming from southbound to eastbound. I want you guys to drop some comments below. Tell me, what are your riding styles for those who do ride? It would be a great thing to mention in a video like this that I might have missed, because I know there's a lot of things that I might have missed. Do you guys, when you're on the highway, are you guys thinking about these little factors? You know, is there debris on the road? You know, I've come across many tires, broken tires in the middle of the road, and I'm doing like above speed limit. Let's put it that way. I'm not gonna go into details, but you see me go above speed limit, and I zoom past this tire that's just in the middle of the road that I could have ended up hitting and just, you know, going down. But let me know in the comments below, what kind of rider are you? Do you pay attention to these things? Does any of these things cross your mind when you're riding? Do you space out? Because I've done that. I'm going to be completely honest. I've done some riding and I've spaced out. And I know that's kind of bad, but there are times that you need that wind therapy just to relieve that. And I'll be completely 100% honest. I mean, riding a motorcycle, yeah, it is dangerous because it's you against everything that's around you. You know, you could hit a patch of, who knows, water of some sort. I don't know. So I've seen people ride their motorcycles in very, very cold temperatures where, you know, if the tire's not warm enough, the whole motorcycle will come out from underneath you. So these are little factors that you have to think about. Like, the one thing I enjoy about nighttime riding is this right here. There's nobody around. It's just me and the road. With an occasional vehicle here and there. But it's not bad at all. Like, you know, this, for me, I enjoy nighttime riding. A lot of people hate nighttime riding for whatever reason. I find it more relaxing because there's less people on the road. You got to deal with less people not paying attention. See, there's a fellow rider on the other side of the road. There's a lot less people not paying attention because, let's be completely honest, how many people have you looked over and seen that they're just attached to their cell phone, texting away, sending photos, selfies, and you're sitting here like, you know, you're riding and you're looking at this person, you're like, are you seriously taking a selfie right now while you're still driving? Check behind you, turn a signal, let's go. Alright, this whole time I had my cruise control on, so I'm turning it on. So now that you've cleared the way, you look to your mirror to see how far you are, look back, you have your turning signals on, and you merge in. Now I'm going to make this right hand turn because this is my exit. I keep my turning signal going. And voila, you're in. You're in like Flint. Great. Now I'm making this right hand turn, downshifting. That's the great thing about this bike. Again, quick shifter. You let go of the throttle and you shift downwards. And you go. Familiarize yourself with all these controls. I know it's a lot, especially with this bike. I was overwhelmed with so much stuff that's on here. I was like, I've never ridden a bike that had so much stuff. And I guess the R1 kind of eased it in for me. Here's a yield. I went straight through the yields, made sure I looked, and then I go. So now we're doing a quick comparison of the back roads. So in the back roads, so now you notice that in the back roads, of course, the roads are smaller. There's more room for error in the back roads because of the simple fact that, okay, so now you're riding in the dark. I'm riding in a street where there's no light posts anywhere. Like, right, I don't see any light posts anywhere here. Everything's in the dark because I live more countryside. So for those of you who live more countryside, you'll understand. We'll reach more civilization moving down forward. But this is a great example right here. Nighttime riding versus daytime riding, you know, versus back roads riding, or should I say neighborhood riding, so I can't think of the word, versus highway riding. You know, highway riding is different. It's a lot more relaxed because you're just going with the flow of the traffic and, you know, you're just going. There's more accidents when you're riding locally within the neighborhood, or, you know, you're taking the scenic route because, you know, you have to stop and go. People are not paying attention. Again, we're going back to people texting on their phones and not paying attention. You might be completely stopped behind a car and the person behind you could have rear-ended the car in front of you, but since you're right behind that other car, you get squished like a pancake, which, you know, we hope that never happens. So I'll teach you my little tricks and trade of what to do. And again, I want you guys to comment below. Let me know, what is it that you guys do to ride safely and make sure that, you know, your life comes first. I love to learn new things to make my ride safer because I constantly check my mirrors. Whenever I'm stopped at a light, I constantly check my mirrors because I had a friend of mine who had gotten rear-ended by another vehicle when we were, I think it was Daytona. This was a long time ago. He was riding a Honda 954, if you guys remember that bike. Gorgeous bike. He got rear-ended. Luckily, nothing happened to him. I was not expecting it. It happened to him, and I was sitting there next to him, and I saw this happen, and that would make me realize, you know what? I should never, ever stop at a light directly behind another vehicle. Like, if you can help it, stay on the right or the left-hand side. So there's no room there, so I'm gonna get on this side. See, he stopped. I'm looking at the mirrors. There's nobody behind me, so I am good to go. This is more an educational video for those who are looking to get into motorcycling and motorcycle riding. It's a great thing. And this is perfect for people who are starting to get into motorcycles or already riding motorcycles and are still inexperienced, but they're looking to expand their safety, because let's face it, we all want to be safe. I'm reaching my destination now, so I will let you guys go because I'm gonna go take a shower and then go to bed. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for checking out my channel. If you guys are subscribing to the channel, thank you so much. If you guys are considering subscribing to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, that like, share with your friends, share with your family, and share with everyone. Happy New Year's to everyone out there. Peace.